Have you found it harder than ever to stay afloat financially? This feeling is very common, but what is even more common are these 7 money traps that more than likely are keeping you this way. But before we get started, do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. Now let us begin. The 7th money trap is shopping binges. Some people find stress relief through physical activity or music listening, while others find it through shopping. Like other activities like exercise, sex, and even eating chocolate, shopping can release endorphins into the body. The unfortunate truth is that, like those 3 things, spending money to feel good may become addicting. Shopping to make yourself feel better creates a link between happiness and the acquisition of material possessions that can be challenging to break. Don't worry if you believe you are the only one with this issue. A 2016 poll by Ebates, the industry innovator and top provider of online cashback shopping, found that 96% of adults and 95% of teenagers use retail therapy. The most widely used therapies for these individuals included entertainment, travel, and electronics. It goes without saying that these expenditures have an impact on practically everyone. Shopping addiction is a serious problem that can be difficult to overcome, but with the support of a mental health expert, you can learn to recognize your triggers and build coping mechanisms that will keep you from having shopping binges. You can also create a budget to help reduce your overall spending. Now, this isn't to say that all shopping is bad. You just need to be aware of the point at which it turns unhealthy for both you and your finances. Naturally, each of these unhealthy behaviors has a different response for each individual. Someone may need to give up their reward card to prevent temptation, while another person may need to replace the mood-enhancing aspects of shopping with exercise. The first step in changing a poor habit is to acknowledge that you need to do so. It's essential to step back and evaluate your circumstances if you're frequently endangering your financial stability. The incentive you require to eventually pay off your debt may come from realizing that you are jeopardizing your own chances for freedom. Number 6 is taking advice from poor people. Speak and listen to people who are in the position where you want to be. Take a second and audit your circle and who is giving you advice. Remember, you become the average of the 5 individuals who you spend most of your time with. Now, understand this doesn't even necessarily mean you can't hang around broke people. More importantly, it's about the mindset. Okay, so your friends are broke, but they are actually working to change that? Are they creating opportunities that will positively change their finances? This can be something like starting a side hustle, improving your skills, and/or learning new skills. In other words, stay away from people with broke mindsets. If you hang around 5 people with broke mindsets, you will become the 6th. Number 5 is avoiding paying off debt. When you have what seems to be an unmanageable amount of debt, just the thought of paying it down can make you feel sick to your stomach. As a result, many people believe that the most effective way to deal with the situation is to avoid dealing with it. Those who have a propensity for neglecting their debt may engage in actions that raise a red flag, such as avoiding calls from creditors, not keeping track of their bills and/or debt. When you have a deeper understanding of your debt, you'll have a higher chance of successfully managing it. After you have determined how much you are in debt, you can proceed to calculate your payment alternatives. If you owe a significant amount to several different creditors, you could start by using the snowball method to knock out the loan with the lowest balance to help get the ball rolling. This may appear to be more attainable, and if you are successful in paying off one loan, it could provide you with the motivation to move on to the next lowest loan. Number 4 is relying on one source of income. The majority of people live their lives on one source of income, which is typically a paycheck. Regrettably, jobs aren't as safe as most people think. If you recall, U.S. companies laid off roughly 21 million workers in 2018, which meant that if your job was your primary source of income, your cash flow stopped. When it comes to your earning potential, see yourself as a tree. Do trees just have one fruit-bearing branch? No is the answer. Trees have several fruit-yielding branches, so you should too. You should create additional income sources by starting side hustles and picking up new skills to make your money work for you. You cannot work 24 hours, but your money can. And when I know when my money is working for me, it helps me sleep much better at night. Number 3 is failing to plan ahead. One of the costliest errors a person can make is failing to plan ahead. 2 examples would be running up a tab on your credit card and then not having enough money to pay it off by the due date, and now you are paying interest on top of what you owe. Another example would be not having an emergency fund and then an emergency comes up and now you must take out a loan to cover the emergency. Those are 2 very common situations for countless people. The issue is that a lot of people simply don't make future plans. This is why when individuals who believe that they would always have certain employment suddenly get laid off, they find themselves in a dire financial predicament and unable to pay their bills if they don't have any funds to draw from. So always plan ahead. Always. Number 2 is buying a home they can't afford. Buying a house that is beyond reach is one of the biggest errors people make. As a result of their conviction that it will be beneficial in the long run, individuals frequently act in this manner. However, many homebuyers find it challenging to pay their other bills because their mortgage is so high. It's a good idea to buy a property, but only houses that you can afford should be bought. For purchasing a home that is unaffordable or too expensive will result in high amounts of debt over a very long period of time. Before purchasing a home, it's critical to understand how much monthly income you have. Make sure you also consider additional expenses such as property taxes, maintenance, and other outgoing expenses. Number 1. Putting yourself under unnecessary financial strain. When you spend too much of your salary on maintaining a lifestyle, such as dining out frequently or buying items you really don't need, you can end up without enough money left over to save for the future. Instead of buying more and more things while still managing the payments, your objective should be paying down your debt as fast and as much as possible. Of course, there are occasions when you can't completely limit your spending. It's crucial to make an effort not to take on everything at once. Prioritize the things that are most important and deal with them. That could be anything from paying off your debt to putting food on your table. Take things one at a time. So that is all the time we had today. Let me know in the comments section which of these traps you feel impact you the most. Also, like and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to subscribe.